What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Christmas music. Though this is a piece of music I know outside of that context, and I was intrigued when I saw it included on James Galway's Christmas Carol. This is another Christmas CD I grew up with. My parents had it when I was young, and I remember when they would play it, they would say, oh, Galway, he does all sorts of flute music, and indeed he is a soloist, a flute virtuoso, and he also is the conductor for the musical endeavor on this album. Now, this album features a number of Christmas carols that I've gone through from other singers, and I was going to do his version of Past 3 O'Clock, which it has that classic 19th century sound, but with a perhaps enhanced flute aspect to it. But I kept looking down, and I saw right near the end of the album, and this is not something I remembered from youth, Sheep May Safely Graze. You may remember a couple months ago I posted a video of Luca where I called it Luca May Safely Graze, and she was sleeping while listening to a piece by Bach. And the piece by Bach is, I think, officially called Only the Lively Hunt Pleases Me. It's a cantata. I think it's sometimes called the Hunting Cantata, and is it BMW? There's like a specific catalog system that's not like an opus system. It's like specific to Bach, and I think it's BMW, and I think it's 208. But one part of it is called Sheep May Safely Graze, and it's this pastoral type of image and sonic atmosphere, very tranquil. It makes you think of sunny pastures and, sheep out grazing without worrying about predators about. So it's very much the scene that it invokes. Now, the original text, it was written for one of Bach's patrons, and I forget the name of the patron, but it was written for his birthday, and the text in the original was written by another person, and it depicts a pastoral. It's about a shepherd out in the field with his sheep, and this version takes that original text, but it adds an extra layer, an extra verse, in which it makes use of the concept of shepherd, but with a capital H for the he usages, and it's clear that it's taking a religious angle on the idea of a shepherd from the original text, and therefore the idea that it was dedicated to someone on their birthday and is here being used for the birth of Christ in that religious context. It's an interesting twist that I didn't see coming, and I didn't remember from my youth, even though as an adult it's a piece I've come to enjoy very much. And again, it just perfectly gives that sort of light sunshine and a very peaceful and tranquil field type of atmosphere. So this is James Galway from his Christmas Carol album 1986, Sheep May Safely Graze, taken from Bach's Hunting Cantata 208 in the BMW system, though this again has an added lyrical element that takes the shepherd concept to, a more formally religious territory. So here we go, James Galway in his version of Sheep May Safely Graze. again, when I did that Luca video, I was like, man, I gotta get around to reacting to that piece. And I have one on my computer, and again, I don't remember what. Oh, that's right. And there's more credits that I'll talk about here in a minute. But yeah, I don't remember what orchestra it is. But again, I played a like brief snippet of it, and when I did that, I was like, I gotta come back and do a formal reaction to this, and just trying to keep up with all the bands that I'm going through. Like sometimes like deep dives that are a bit more obscure on my channel and are a bit more like something that I started doing, of my own impetus. They do fall off a little bit, and so the classical reactions fell off a little bit, and when I came back to them the next time, I did something else. I forget what it was, but oh, that's right, it was the Arabesque by Debussy. Nevertheless, when I saw this in my collection and I noticed that, I was like, oh wait, like this is perfect on two levels. One, I'm curious to hear it because I don't remember this being part of his Christmas album, though again, I suppose part of the reason I came to enjoy it is because I must have heard it when I was younger, maybe specifically from this album. But then it was like, oh, there's an added layer given that he does, flute flourishes that are perhaps not always heard in this, in performances of this piece. And then again, knowing that it had been adapted into a more formal, like Christmas Carol style, I was intrigued to do it. So the credits on this one, the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra is heard, as well as the BBC Singers, and then the Chapel Choir of King's School, Canterbury. And then once again, James Galway is the flute player and the conductor, produced by J. David Sachs, recorded by Mike Ross, musical associate David Overton, and executive producer Michael Emerson. So shout out to all of them, a Lundus artist production. So yeah, ultimately, as I said, this was very much part of my youth, though I don't think of this piece when I think of it. I think of performances like Past 3 O'Clock, and he does a really good version of Silent Night. So again, multiple Christmases await in the future. I will surely come back and do more of these in those times. So in any case, Christmas morning, it is here. Hopefully you've had an enjoyable holiday period, whether or not you celebrate Christmas. And if you're watching this, you probably do, or at the very least, you're sympathetic to people having holiday spirit, outside of your own experience, which is cool. Again, I think one of the greatest things about my channel is that a number of people who've become good friends of mine over the last year and a half talk about, listening to things that maybe they wouldn't have encountered otherwise, or maybe they wouldn't have given a second look to. And there's a number of people who just in the last few days, and again, shout out to someone like Sophia, who mentioned that, she doesn't normally necessarily listen to music like that, and she's been waiting for me to get back to regular reactions. But she mentioned she went through and she watched a number of the recent Christmas reactions and commented on one of them that she particularly enjoyed, the Brian McKnight version of Christmas Time Is Here, which I do think is a very good performance. And just a little side note there, I got his Christmas album. It won't get here until like January, so we'll be waiting for next year, but I have the full album, so looking forward to going through that. Shout out to all those, again, who've shown up in different places on my channel, checking out things that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise. It does mean a lot, so happy holidays. Looking forward to getting back to the regular reactions, and just to mention here, that will happen Wednesday morning. Again, I was going to maybe shoot reactions what is now technically later tonight, but I'm probably not going to do that. I'm probably going to wait till Boxing Day evening to shoot videos, meaning they'll be up on the morning of the 27th. So looking forward to that. Let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.